Hello, this is Minter Chen. In this electronic commerce video lecture, we're going to talk about website design and also discuss a little bit about the future of e-commerce that's coming our way. I'm going to use Jesse Garrett's diagram here. He has published a book called The Elements of User Experience. You can find out a very concise one-page PDF file describing his idea about web user interface design. And in this kind of multi-layer approach, we'll start it from the bottom, from a very conceptual design to a concrete design. And over on the right-hand side, it's more about your content. And on the left-hand side, it's about the functionality that you want to offer through your website. And so at the beginning, you do need to identify your users' needs and then set your site objective. Certainly can go the other way around. You set your objective, but then you need to find out what's your users' need in terms of your target audience. Then when you move up, then you need to think about what kind of content that you need to have on your website, and also define the functional specification, which means that what kind of function you will provide to help the user to accomplish the task or the work that they need to get done through your website. Once you have your content, you need to think about how you want those content to be organized. That's what it is referred to as information architecture. And you also need to, since user need to get things done, so you need to think about how they may integrate with your website to accomplish the work that need to be done. And once you have your information architect, then we need to thinking about the so-called information design. In this case, one major element is the navigation design, which is what kind of the navigation structures, mechanism that you need to have. And you need to thinking about the interface design, what kind of interface component you will use in order to accomplish the interaction that you have specified earlier. And last not the least is the visual design, thinking about your web page layout and what kind of visual object you want to use to get users' attention. So let's start with the site element. There's an online resource called Web Style Guide from Yale Medical School. There's I believe two authors who actually wrote a book on Web Style Guide. The whole book is online. You can certainly get a printed copy. It's highly recommended. It's nothing fancy, but it's very detailed and thorough on all aspects of website design. And one of the first steps in terms of website design is figure out what kind of site element that you may want to include in your website. You definitely need to have a home page when you're thinking about the graphic and text. You need to thinking about kind of a sub area and sub site that you might want to have. Think about whether you want to have a so-called table of contents, site index, or site map. But just be aware, I mean, your site will change, evolve, and this table content site index will need to be changed accordingly. So unless you have an automatic mechanism to keep it up to date, otherwise it's very tedious to keep this type of information up to date on your website. If you offer product or services through your website, think about how you're going to present your product and services and those product page and service page. Have a page which is about what's new and to get people's attention. If your site contains lots of product, service, or information, you need to think about the search function. We referred to this earlier called findability. You need to think about what kind of search criteria you allow the user to use to search, and then how you're going to sort the search result, in what way. And never forget about the contact informations, your phone address and the contact person email, for sure. Provide some feedback mechanism, allow the user to send you suggestion, questions, and additional online resources, and frequently asked questions. Particularly your site need to provide customer service. Make sure you have this FAQ pages, so that you don't have to always keep answering the same question again and again. You can refer the user to one of the FAQ item. Make sure you have a customized arrow page instead of just say, 404, page not found. You may want to say, if you're looking for this and couldn't find it, please please contact us in the following way. This is a website navigation diagram. Sometimes we just call it navigation map. This is the home page on the top. And from the home page, you can go to some main area like product, service, employee, resource, and the tip and trick area. Under each area, there are a collection of pages which can be linked to each other. And by the way, although we're showing this in a more or less a tree structure hierarchical format, practically because web page is hypertext system, we can have link from one page to other pages, go back to its parent page, go back to the home page. So you do want to have that flexibility to take advantage of the flexible navigation paths that's possible in web pages. So we started as a hierarchical kind of structure, but as I mentioned, you do want to keep your website structure flexible with a lot of link, particularly when you have a very complicated kind of site structure, which you want to give the user a lot of flexibility. But sometimes your content may be simple and you want the user to follow a certain sequence of steps and visit your website, such as an online training website. Then your site structure may conceptually looks like this, and that is fine. So basically you need to thinking about the content that you have and also the target audience that you have, and to decide what's the best site structure that you want to come up with. And people often say that there's so-called 3-click principle or even 2-click principle, which means that people should be able to find out the information they needed from your website on 3-click away, no more than 3-click away. But as we know, a lot of websites are very complicated, has a very deep structure as we're showing here. So how can someone find out this page through browsing and clicking? That's not just possible. So in order to help the user to reach to those long tail of seldom visit pages, we do need to provide search function. And browsing is important. We emphasize the importance of the kind of navigation structure, navigation map. But search is the only practical navigation in the long tail of those seldom visit pages. In Steve Krug's famous book called Don't Make Me Think, and by the way, that's actually a very good principle in user interface design in general, not just the web user interface design. The interface should be simple, consistent, intuitive. When I say intuitive, which basically say don't make me think. When I see it, I know what to do. So you should shoot for that in terms of your kind of design guideline. Another thing to be aware when you design the layout of a page is that user designer certain layout things methodologically nicely, and they expect the user to see things in specific sequence like here. And however, in some research tracking users' eyeball, we find out the user are scanning the page, usually from left to right and top to down, and whatever catch their attention, they may scan a few words, and if that keyword makes sense to them, they may click on it. And if the next page did not meet their expectation, not what they thought it could be, they will come back, and they use the back button to come back. So keep that in mind. In reality, users are scanning your page. Whatever you want to get their attention, make sure that you design it such that it would stand out and make it easy for it to stand out to get people's attention. Designing a website, you certainly focus on the website structure, the design of the structure. But once you have the website structure figured out, the navigation figured out, then you need to thinking about page layout or page structure. This is a typical multi-column page layout. You have on the top, you have logo, you have some common element, for instance, table contact index page, maybe a link to the map direction to your company, a search box, and some high-level navigation button or navigation link here. And in a particular sub area, you may want to have some local navigation on the left, and the center is your main contact column. At the bottom, make sure you have some consistent kind of copyright notice and other standard information on every page. You do want to take advantage of the power of the web. For instance, in this case, I was using stables.com to order some binder, and after I check out, before I check out, actually, the Stables website would ask me, do I need those index divider, which will go well with my binder, and so that's what we call cross-selling. And another scenario would be so-called upselling. Assume that I throw in my shopping cart a black and white laser printer, and the website can come back and tell me that, hey, the color laser printer is on sale. It's not actually that expensive than the black and white one. Do you want to consider that instead of this black and white laser printer? That's what we call upselling. So you kind of need to set up this kind of correlation among various products for cross-selling and upselling. And Amazon recommendation system use Amazon's collaboration system use collaborative filtering to do similar cross-selling based on users' purchase data, which turned out to be quite effective. In that case, you don't have to have a human being to make the recommendation based on the user's purchase. You use other users' purchasing data to do so. Stable also have this personalization features. After I purchased the binder, they actually ask me whether I want to save this purchase as my favorite items, and I can ask the website to come back and remind me. Maybe I will be running out of this binder in a week, in a month, and then so there will be a kind of reminder email sent to me about you're about to run out of binder and it's time to buy it. Okay, so that's kind of a more personalized service. So on the web, if you're moving to the web, if you haven't done so, don't be scared about all those complicated websites. Start something small, like just a simple website with your address, with a little bit what you are and what kind of product service you offer, and then move up. Try to provide some more interactive feature to allow you to have a conversation with your customer. And eventually you can move to the e-commerce arena, which you start listing your product and service for sale. The product data probably has to be stored in a database instead of hard-coded on your web page. This is where you really need this dynamic programming capability in terms of building your e-commerce website. You need to be able to thinking about how you will process the credit card payment, and at the back end, pretty much the same time, you have to thinking about the back end logistics in terms of processing the order, fulfilling the order, and settle the payment and manage the workflow in terms of the back end supply chain management and logistics. And eventually, you may want to integrate your website with a bigger marketplace. For instance, you can add your insurance offering and website with the healthcare.gov, the government's exchange for healthcare insurance purchase for the citizen. Okay, so that's a further step of integrating with business partner through the web integration. Last not the least, we're going to talk a few kind of futures trends in e-commerce. First is a lot of people going to have been getting a broadband internet connection like ADSL, cable modem, or even optical fibers connection at home, or use the wireless 3G or 4G network to be always on. Even the airline very recently started to change the policy. I guess it's the government agency which govern the airline travel, and start to allow the airline to allow its customer to use like e-reader or iPad tablets on the fly. And because of this kind of broadband connection, streaming video, audio become much more common, and one area which is emerging is what we call MOOC, which is massive open online courses. I strongly encourage you to actually give it a try. And companies such as Coursera, Coursera, Coursera.com is a well-known kind of a MOOC-based website. Experience it a little bit and see what you think, and tell me about it. There's a lot of websites which are very interactive and try to build not just a virtual community, but kind of a 3D virtual community. Second Life is an example of that. And we did mention customization, personalization. Think about this features when you try to design your website. Another movement is the integration of social network, location-based service, and mobile commerce and application. Mobile phone, particularly smartphone, become widely available, and people use it all the time, browsing the web and using some mobile apps. And most of the mobile smartphone has GPS system built in, so that opened the door for us to build location-based services in our application. And then you also want to build the kind of social networking features in your app, so people can easily share their picture, their comments, and where they are, or their purchase with their friend. We call this solo mode. This kind of integration called a solo mode, which is something worth watching. And once you have a website, you do need to think about how you spread the words around. You can certainly placing ads, buying Google AdWords. And Amazon has a program called Amazon Associate, which allow its associate, which is if you sign up as an Amazon associate to place Amazon's products link on your website, you will get a percentage out of it. And we should think about e-commerce as just part of our multi-channel integration approach to promote our company, to promote our product and services. Don't ignore other channel like a 1-800 phone number which people can call your call center to discuss things. Zappos has been very good in terms of doing this. Zappos.com, the online shoes selling company. And more, we're seeing a lot of affordable e-commerce software that allows small, medium-sized business to create an e-commerce website without a lot of deep technical knowledge. And also at the back end, which we don't see that much, is that standards such as extended markup language, XML, as we know it, has been widely adopted, which has enabled business-to-business e-commerce site to flourish. Company can send business-to-business kind of transactional data to each other using XML format. So the e-commerce here, it's here to stay. It is still growing. With the advent of smartphone, mobile device, and more people feel more comfortable using web to buy and sell, the opportunity is here for us. So hope this series of e-commerce lecture help you to think about what are the opportunities for you, what you have to do if you're going to build a website for your company. If your company has one, what else can you do? I hope you enjoyed this lectures, and we have other topics we're going to cover down the road. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.